Craft jokes. I need to find some crafting jokes. Okay. This is gonna be funny. The easiest way to be creative, try something different even if you don't think it'll work. That's not funny. One person's trash is my new craft supply. You need to come up with some better craft jokes. It's not a mistake, it's a creative opportunity. Now, I like the Bob Ross happy little accidents, happy accident, or whatever the heck he would say. I need some funny things. Where's my funny? Okay. These are not jokes, these are memes. There's no crafting jokes. Funny craft jokes. Craft quotes. No, none of these are funny. I'm in a good place right now. Not emotionally, I'm just at the craft store. I am creative. You can't expect me to be neat, too. Keep calm and get your craft on. I'm not gonna buy that. I can make it. Craft like no one's watching. Not all who wander are lost. Some people are just at the craft store looking for fun supplies. Seriously, these memes are the worst memes in the whole wide world. All I want is a freaking craft joke. Can't Google, provide me funny craft jokes? Or even a funny craft quote? What the hell? We're not dead. We just craft. We'll work for craft supplies. Yeah, I don't get it.
After my shaker card fail, I didn't know if I would ever make a card again, but I needed a card. It was a special occasion and I wanted to use my new dies and I couldn't wait. First, I grabbed the dies that I couldn't wait to use, which is this very large deer die with the frame and the landscape, and then my Tim Holtz trees dies. I grab a salutation that I wanted to use, and then I pulled out 100 million pieces of paper that I thought might work. I wanted something that was rustic, masculine, and something you could believe was nature infused. So I grab my dies and I try to figure out which one is going to be which, and I think the big trees are going on the dark one and the frame die is going on the beige paper. I run that through my Sizzix Big Kick die cutting machine, and this is the result of the tree line, and I love this die. I also run it with this other die, and I try to get all the little pieces out of the die using my X-Acto knife. You can use a die weeder as well, anything sharp or pointy, I should say. And I pull out all the little pieces out of the tree die, and I get that all sorted out and set that aside. And then I take the final big die and I run that through the machine, and I love the results. However, I really didn't like that horizon with that tree going all the way up there.
Doesn't work with my vision.
My vision is to have this be all scenic and up northy, you know what I'm saying? It has to be just right. So I want to pull out some of that horizon line and then kind of X-Acto knife my way into magic and make you guys think that it just happened like that. Then I pull out my Strathmore Bristol Smooth large paper pad, and because that frame is 6.5 by 5.5 or 4.5 or something like that, almost 5 inches, I had to cut a custom sized paper in order to make it work. Typically, I do my cards on an A2 card size, which is like an 8.5 by 11 cut in half or something. In this instance, I had to take a large paper and then cut it down to a custom size to make it work.
And you all know how I am with cutting and folding.
So I just did my best to mark out with a ruler and a pencil and then score on the line and then use my bone folder to make it smooth. And you can see I left a flap on the bottom just because I am so horrible about trying to get things right. I erase all my pencil marks because I know I'm going to be coming through with some Distress Oxide inks here in a bit, and I mask off the top of the card so that the Distress Oxide inks that I'm going to be using don't overflow into the back side of the card and make the back side of the card look like a hot mess. I pull out my little finger daubers and I pull out the matching daubers to the Broken China, Faded Jeans, and the Cracked Pistachio. But I didn't have a Cracked Pistachio Distress Oxide ink dauber, so I had to pull out my extra daubers and get a new one set up.
So this is his first day on the job, and so he's not all trained in or anything.
So I had to get out my little brother's label machine and make him a little name tag.
So all the guys in the dauber drawer knew who he was.
It's Distress Oxide, Cracked Pistachio. That's what the DO stands for. The other one's Distress Ink, or DI. I trim that and then put it around the edge.
And now he's got his name tag on there and he can make friends.
I start by using my Faded Jeans and start using the darker color towards the horizon line and the lighter colors as I go up, which are the broken china and the cracked pistachio on the very top. I'm not sure. I'm just testing out, see what it looks like. And I really like it, but it looks more like a nighttime view with the northern lights. So I decided that I'm going to see what it looks like if I put like almost like a lake on the side on the what they're standing near, but it didn't really work out. I take out my mini mister and I spritz the card, dab that extra water off with a paper towel, and I decide I don't like the blue on the bottom.
It looks like the deers are smacking on water and they're not Jesus deers. You know what I'm saying?
I decided to take out some pattern paper, and then I decide to do my magic and cut out the horizon line in that little tree. I take out some Distress Oxide fossilized amber, and I want to color the sky with just a little bit more texture, and I'm putting some yellowy green peeled paint in there as well. I'm just giving it a little bit more layers just so it feels more natural. So that additional water spritz was mostly to add texture and to make it look a little bit like the night sky. Here you can see I'm cutting off the page that is going to be the grass, the grassy knoll.
Whatever that means.
I take out some vintage photo, the Distress Oxide, and I use my ink blender to get that all situated and add some texture to that paper just so it doesn't look like,
oh, well, there's some paper.
I just wanted to give it a little bit more dimension so it looked a little bit more real. And I add a little bit to the night sky as well, forgetting that there's going to be a frame around it, but it does kind of give it a little small vignette, but it looks more like nighttime sky with some clouds. I do like the vintage photo on the horizon line because it really looks a little bit better than just the plain. If you notice, I'm using rulers and pencils and stuff.
Those make you technically a super good crafter where you don't get crooked lines.
I tend to get super crooked lines and then I fail on shaker cards.
Whatever.
Trying to figure out where that little baby tree is gonna go, and I hate that tree everywhere.
I just can't stand it.
And then I'm trying to figure out where those other big trees are gonna go, and I'm trying every which way to see which way is gonna be the best. That little baby tree does not make the cut. And then I'm thinking those trees need to have some sort of texture on them as well. And since it's a night sky, I'm gonna give a little bit of frost on there. I am up north, so not that it's snowing right now,
But it could be.
So I take out some of the Nouveau embellishment mousse in the platinum, and I just add a little bit to the tips of the trees, which kind of makes it look like snow. So I'm gonna say this is up in Iceland. Wait, do they have like pine trees? I don't even know if they do. They probably don't. So I'm just gonna say it's winter time, like the super end of fall and the early winter, and that super way up north where they're like the Aurora Borealis.
Or whatever the hell they are.
And so I put a bunch of that platinum stuff in the sky as well, like to be some shimmery clouds or whatever. Because wintertime, I mean, you know how winter is. It's like gray and stuff. So I'm just gluing that with some matte gel medium directly onto the card, and I'm kind of keeping the tips of the trees a little bit curled up so it has a little bit of dimension. I'm not really putting anything underneath it, but I might. Here I'm fixing up some edges that turned a little bit white when it got die cut so that it looks like it's a little bit more finished, but I ended up just making it look like I put a bunch of brown marker on my paper. Well, I'm adding the frame, and I really like my choices of paper, which is so rare. So let's celebrate this major accomplishment in my crafting career where I love all the papers and I love the dyes and I love the colors in the background.
It's amazing.
Here I got the brilliant idea. I'm going to partially pull this deer off of the paper. I'm not going to do it all the way, and it kind of gives you the illusion that he's a little bit more close to you in the front than he is in the back. Same with the mama deer. And here I go again with that baby freaking tree. And I decide I'm going to trim off the edges of the card because this has bit me in the butt more than one time where I did not trim off those edges and I thought I had more room, and then everything is off center and crooked because I'm like,
Oh no, I have plenty of room and it looks great right there.
and it doesn't. So I'm going back and I'm like kind of figuring out where that dang tree is gonna go, and it took, I swear, this is like sped up 20 times. If that gives you some sort of idea of how long this took, it was a very long time. I decide I'm gonna put it on the right hand side near the big buck deer, and I'm gonna put little baby foams on the tree limbs, give some dimension, like that tree is a little bit closer to me than anything. And truly, when you look at it in real life, it's like you're actually there. Truly.
You guys don't believe that, and probably not, because it probably is over-exaggerated and not true, but it really does. You really feel like you're right there.
Yeah, so far I like it, but I decided I'm a little bored with the front, so I'm gonna move on to the back. And they have that little baby tree, and I have to use the baby tree. So again, I use my mask because I'm gonna be doing a whole freaking scene of ink crap on the inside of the card. And I start with my faded jeans, and of course my camera battery died.
You guys missed the best part with the stream and stuff.
You can see it's still there, and I'm spritzing and flicking and, you know, adding a bunch of vintage photo with my ink things, and using my finger and dabbing on those Nouveau embellishment mousses, which I wish I would have stopped with that. I mean, seriously, that's a hot mess in that sky right there.
You know it's true.
Then I take out my acrylic markers, which smell super acrylic-y and alcohol-y,
Which is really gross.
but then I kind of work on the little stream that's going through there. I decide that I want that tree on that little mound next to the stream. Honestly, that tree, if I could have just taken that tree and put it in the garbage.
That's where the tree belonged.
I don't like the little baby tree. I mean, I like the front of the card, but the inside of the card I thought was a little bit of a hot mess. I take my salutation or my sentiment,
Or whatever the heck that is.
I put that on some paper that I thought worked really well with the card. I put that onto the inside of the piece. I decided I thought that it worked a little bit better up on the top because I didn't really want to hide my stream.
There are fishes in that stream. People fish that stream. I'm telling you right now. They really do. And they don't need freaking thanks floating around in there.
So I move on to the back and I take my handmade stamp and my Momenta black ink and I make my little handmade that I always do on my special cards. And I take my Molotow gold marker and I put my $1 million of love on the back.
Because how else will you know that I love you? Unless I write $1 million of love on the back.
So now I think I'm finished. I'm like,
Look what a good job I did. Look at these beautiful die cuts. Aren't they gorgeous? And I'm going to show them off to you because I think this card is amazing.
but in reality, I'm not finished yet. Because if I was, I'd be going,
Thanks for joining me today and all that crap that I say at the end of the thing where you guys like leave the video. And I can't even believe it sometimes that you left me, but I'm just like, I just love you guys so much. I can't even believe that you left at the end of the video. And sometimes you don't even listen to the way end. And sometimes I put little jokes at the end and you guys don't even get to hear them. And it makes me sad inside. Now watch, I won't put a joke at the end and you guys will be feeling so cheated and wronged by me. But I don't mean to make you feel wronged or anything like that. I'm just saying there have been videos in the past. Is this passive aggressive? Is this what passive aggressive is?
I'm adding some, I don't know what those are. They're little nighttime sky star things. And I'm adding it with some pearl drops, liquid pearl drops in the silver platinum thing or whatever.
Is now finished. Finished or kaput. Whatever. It's done.
At least the front is, but I'm not fully done. Am I? Am I done? Is this almost done? I'm gonna look like such a fool, aren't I? Okay, I'm not done yet. I just checked. I'm not fully done yet.
There is some serious extra stuff that's coming. Don't leave yet. Don't leave. And if you have some extra time, you can hit that like button. Say, oh my gosh, I love how hilariously funny she is and that she's making this beautiful card for me to watch her. I love this video. If you don't like the video, you should probably hit the down button or something. No, don't hit that. Just leave me a comment.
So I put Love Your Guts, Jacqueline, on the inside of the card. And as soon as I have another pen in my hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to add polka dots to the sky because that'll totally look realistic. Then I'm thinking in my head, well, maybe it's snowing and it's snowing gold. So why not? And of course, take out your Winkastella and put a bunch of glitter on the tree that you hate in the middle of the stream. That'll totally make the card look completely finished. But I do like it on the thanks, even though I went out of the lines 100 times. But then I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of like three-dimensional. And oh, it's so cool. So now I believe I'm completely finished with the inside of the card. Even though the baby tree is still in there, we're still friends. The baby tree and I, we love each other. Just like I love all your gutses. 173 subscribers as I'm creating this voiceover for this video right now. And I can tell you right now, you guys are freaking amazing. I cannot thank you enough for like subscribing to my channel and watching my videos every time I post and commenting and being my internet friends.
I just love you guys to death. That's what love your guts means. You know what I mean? Not that I want you to die, because I don't.
That's my video for you guys today, and I just can't thank you enough for following along to the very end. Thank you so much for visiting with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see what else I create on this channel, consider subscribing, because I'd love to have you as a viewer. Until next time, love your guts. Bye.
Is this the part where I have to add the joke so that you guys like watch until the end every single time? Okay, so wait. What time did the man go to the dentist? Tooth hurty. Ah, that's so crazy. What do you call? Knock knock. Who's there? What was that one? Is this thing still running?